right, welcome to Amnesty CrossFit, my super fancy office with my amazing comrade Chrissy Dean here, who's one of our coaches.
Hello.
So we're super excited because we are launching a YouTube channel where I would like to give you a regular schedule on when to expect us, but at least once a week we're going to come in and share some information and have some chats, and it's going to be good. So we're excited to be here. So with that being said, today is
Motivational Monday.
except for it's not.
It's not.
It's definitely Tuesday because I do not have my crap together and it's taken me this long to get it there. So here we are. And on that note, we're going to talk a little bit about a phrase that I use all the time. And I think that Chrissy honestly kind of wants to punch me in the face sometimes when I use it because I use it a lot in our own training too.
I've actually learned a lot from this. So.
But that phrase is, there's beauty in the struggle. And I think that on the surface, we're all very familiar with that. We all are familiar with the concept that sometimes you really have to go through something and conquer it to get to the other side, which sounds all wonderful and willy-nilly, but I really want to dig into this a little bit deeper because this is something that we see a ton, either with people that will run into at the grocery store that say, oh my gosh, what you're doing is so amazing, I could never do that.
Yeah.
Or family members, I'm so excited for you, I could never do that. And then even from our members, maybe it's signing up for a competition or coming to a different style class than what they're usually going to, but where they go, oh yay, that's awesome for you, but I could never do that. So I want to dig into why. So one of the things that I really started to come to grips with is we literally hate to struggle in front of people because at its deepest root, it makes us feel vulnerable. And with vulnerability, a lot of times there's that feeling of not being good enough, the fear of not belonging, and sometimes we can even feel shame from it. So let's say, do you remember your first time that you did CrossFit?
I do.
And were you afraid on some level that any of that might apply to you? Did you feel like maybe you weren't good enough, you might not belong, or maybe ashamed of anything?
Definitely. I felt a little bit of embarrassment as well, thinking like I should be able to move a certain way or I should be able to do a certain thing.
Right.
Simple cues sometimes were not able to happen.
Right.
You know, so definitely for sure.
Yeah, I think that that's a feeling that we all can relate to on some level. And even outside the gym, you know, going to meet a new group of people or trying something out for the first time. We always feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times that I'm going to call it, shame is too hard of a word sometimes, but we're going to call embarrassment. We let that feed our fears. And we start telling ourselves things like, I'm too fat, I'm too old, I'm too injured, I just don't really think that's for me. And these fears start to grow inside our head and we give them more fuel. We continue to tell ourselves this negative dialogue, and it grows and it grows and it grows to the point where we really do tell ourselves cans and can'ts. What are we capable of? What are we not? But
Sometimes before you even try.
many times before we even try. But I want you to pause for a second and really think back on one of the hardest times that you've gone through in your life, whether it's maybe losing someone that you love, going through financial struggles, having kids at a young age. I know that was my struggle with my husband. But the truth of that is that most of us, once we come through the other side, which a lot of times happens because we just refuse to give up. It's not because we have this amazing aha path that's perfectly navigated for us. We try, we fail, we get back up. We try, we fail, we get back up. But most of us would say on the other side of the struggle that these are the times that shape us the most into who we are. I don't know if you have anything you want to add there as far as your own experiences go, but
Not right now.
okay, that's all right. That's okay. So,
I can talk for a very long time. You don't need me to do that today.
So when we're in the trenches, when we're in the moment, it all comes down to we have a choice to make. We can choose to let our fears, our preconceived notions, our reasons that to us feel like reasons, but sometimes from the outside can also be excuses, dictate what our life is going to look like. Or we can choose to start surrounding ourselves with positive people that are going to continue to show us how to move forward even when we're not sure that we can. So I know I referenced having kids at a young age. For me, it was family members that had walked that path before me that said, you know what, I know times are hard right now, and I know that you could convince yourself that your life would have been so much easier if you had only. But these beautiful babies are going to bless you someday in a way that you can't even possibly imagine. You just have to keep going. And I would not trade my kid for anything. Any one of the three. That really has come to fruition for me over the years. Now, relating it to the gym, to what we do every day, moving past the embarrassment on day one, and those feelings, are you glad that you did what you did?
Most definitely.
Yeah, and how do you feel? Like, do you feel like you're stronger and that's it and it's amazing, or do you feel like it's impacted your life in other ways?
I feel stronger and amazing, always. But yes, it's definitely impacted my life. I feel like I can attack things more confidently. Just overall, not even just things like lifting weights or cardio or whatever it is that we do in here. Just overall balance.
Mm-hmm. That's good. What we find is that when we surround ourselves with a community of people that is filtering into your life in a positive way, oftentimes we say like they'll push and pull you in the right direction, but most of the time it actually looks more like coming alongside of you and walking with you when you're walking through a really crappy time. And just by refusing to get up and continuing to put that one foot in front of the other, you get where you want to go. I saw a meme, I think it was last week sometime, that said, surround yourself by a group of people that pulls the magic out of you, not the madness. And that really, really spoke to my heart, because that is what we are fortunate enough to experience each and every day in our job, which not everybody has the opportunity to do that. But when you're standing there saying, I don't know if I can, and every one of us that walks through this door every day knows that happens on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. That when somebody next to you that you trust to have the knowledge, the skill, the know-how to give you accurate feedback, to say, I'm confident in you, you have done the work to get to this point, I want you to try. 9 times out of 10, we're going to say, okay. We're not going to say no. We're not going to say get out. We'll say, all right, I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try. And when we do, that's when the magic really starts to happen.
Would that be the beauty in the struggle?
Yes, that's exactly what I was just going to say. Yes, the beauty in the struggle isn't because the struggle is fun. Mm-hmm. The struggle hurts. How many workouts have you been through that hurt?
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
The struggle is real.
Yep, it is. And in a workout, like, we know that struggle is going to end. It's got a finite period of time on it, which is a lot of times why we're willing to push through it. Life outside these walls, we don't always know when it's going to end. But when you're in here, and when you push through what felt like was eternity, what felt like it was never going to end, which when it felt like you didn't know if you could possibly do it, when you get to the other side of that, when you face what's outside of our door, it's a lot less scary, because you know that you can persevere. You know that you can push through pain on a level that you didn't know you could before.
Right.
So that is why there's beauty in the struggle, because you learn things about yourself that you can then apply to any portion of your life. And that's why we firmly, firmly believe that this is not just a matter of looking great in a bikini come summertime. Bikinis are for beaches when you're making memories for people that you love. But every day, it's about making you better so that you can make your life better and your family better. Not just lift more weights, which we love doing anyway. But so I hope you guys got a little something out of this today. We will be back to chat about more exciting topics as we go. If you have questions or comments, we would love to hear what's your struggle? What have you pushed through, and how has that started to change your life?
Below.
And we really hope that you'll get in touch with us, and maybe this speaks to your life in a way that you start to say, well, maybe I can. Because here, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter what you're like, whether you are 150 pounds or whether you are 500 pounds, when you walk through our doors, you belong. So we're really excited to meet you. Have an awesome day.
Bye.